Hey guys, it's Alex here, and I'm back with something a little different today. At the moment, what I've been doing in Football Manager 22, I haven't been playing it that much. I have been simming a lot. I am testing out how the dynamic youth works by loading different leagues and then simming into the future. And one thing I've noticed is that Bulgaria always seem to do very, very well. So I think Bulgaria are quite OP in FM22, and you should definitely look out for players from Bulgaria. So let's actually have a little look. I've got a number of saves I've done into the future, and we can see how Bulgaria have done, and have a look at their players to see maybe if this is true or not. But let's go check it out. Okay, so we are here with our first future save. We're currently in the year 2090, and as you can see, we only have Bulgaria open, testing out whether they are so OP if the league is loaded by itself. And actually, out of all of them I've done so far, it's not actually done too well. If we go look at Bulgaria, they're currently ranked 8th in the world, which is rather good, you'd say. Apparently China are ranked 2nd though, but Bulgaria sitting in 8th, that's not too bad. The first league has a reputation of 4 stars. I think they're currently ranked 7th, yes, but this is, I think I've seen a trend of it. If you have the only one nation loaded, their league will do well. This is a little bit of the effects of the dynamic youth potential. The clubs, I think we've had a Europa League loser or a winner, and a European Conference League winner out of Bulgaria, but no Champions League winners yet. It's more looking at how they've done in the World Cup and the Euros and stuff, and the players that they produce as well, because as you can see in the top players, there is a lot of top players at clubs there. If we look at their competition history, as you can see in the honours, they have a 3rd place in the World Cup in 2066. They've won a European Football Championship in 2080, and they've also won a Nations League in 2085, so that's not too bad, and a European trophy and the Nations League and a 3rd place in the World Cup. If you go through, they haven't done too well in the World Cup, got to a few third rounds, and then there's the 3rd place, otherwise not the best. If we look at the European Championship, obviously they beat Portugal, got to a few quarterfinals, but otherwise not too much. And then in the Nations League, if we find it, the International League, apparently they lifted it, and I think that's done pretty well for them so far. But then when you look at the players are really good at the moment. But to be fair, they've done very well. At the top, you've got Alex Jehevizov? Sure. Theodore Rusev. That's a better one. I can pronounce that one. But as you can see in their transfer value, you've got him at 30, who's worth between 64 and 192, and there he is, 101 caps for Bulgaria. Incredibly good player. Currently playing for Chelsea. Started at CSKA Sofia, and they were first bought for 1.4 million, and then 23, and then 115 million. It's rather good. You got Theodore Rusev, currently playing at AC Milan, a very good player at the moment. Started at a non-league, I think their first league Bulgarian side, moved to Zenit and then on to Milan. You've got, who else have we got here? Georgie Paschev, playing for Real Madrid at the moment. He is a striker. He's looking good. There's a 19-year-old at Bayern. You've got a lot of these Bulgarians at really, really big clubs. And as you can see from when you first buy them, if you're the first person to jump on them, here you go. Here is Georgie Paschev, 66 goals. But if you're the first to jump on them, they're pretty cheap. 26 million for him from Marseille, from Slavia Sofia. Not that bad. And he's already been doing pretty well at that point. And then 72 million playing for Real Madrid. They are very, very good players. But this is with Bulgaria only loaded. So let's go check some other leagues where I have a different nation loaded. So I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, we are back now. And we are in 2094, and we have only Malaysia loaded, which is interesting. Malaysia themselves, they did okay. They did okay. They're currently ranked 65th. I think they got to a couple of World Cups at this point. Yeah, they've got to a couple of World Cups. So I'm going to sim forward a bit further than this one to see. But the main point is Bulgaria in this video, and this save is a bit ridiculous. If we look at Bulgaria, they're currently ranked 7th in the world. South Africa ranked 2nd. There's a lot of variance here, but Bulgaria sitting in 7th at the moment. Belarus also in 12th. That's incredibly funny. The Bulgarian First League is doing pretty well. But let's actually look at how they've done in everything. And they have done incredibly well. A World Cup in 2046, a runners-up in 2042, a third place in 2034, a European Football Championship in 2052, and 2 runners-ups, 10 Nations League wins, 4 runners-up, and 4 third places. They've done very, very well. If we actually look at the World Cup here, you can see we've had some weird winners in this one, actually, in Malaysia. Bulgaria there in 2046. Also Austria winning the World Cup. Australia coming 2nd 2 years in a row is quite interesting. But we can look at this later. And also the European Football Championship, we can see Belarus won it twice, which is hilarious. But 2052, there's Bulgaria. They lost it the year after, and they lost it to England as well. But that's very, very strong. And then the Nations League, of course, they absolutely dominated. They are the holders of it currently. They won it in 86, in 80, 76, 72, against the likes of France, Spain, Portugal, England. They have done very, 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 very well. If we look at their actual national team, you've got some incredible players. Look at this guy, Vladislav Spiriev, valued between 116 and 347 million. He's a right winger that plays for Man United, and they bought him for 140 million from Zenit, from Zebra, from Juventus, who bought him for 12 million. You've got other players. How are we going to do this one? Lachier, Petra Kamakov, a goalkeeper playing for Tottenham at the moment, signed for very cheap from Levski. There's some incredible players. Stoyanov currently playing for Man City. You also have 2 players playing for for PSG here. Chalakov here. It's ridiculous how good these players are. And if you get in early, then you can get some really cheap options. Like 31 million isn't that much in FM anymore, honestly. It used to be quite a lot. But now, like Stefanov here, look at this guy, 24 years old as well, playing for Bayern. They've just signed him for 44 million. That he probably will go on for 100 million later on. So very, very good. So far then, we've had a World Cup, 2 Euros, and 10 Nations Leagues over 2 saves for Bulgaria in 80 or so years. And it didn't take too long for them to go through. Like by 30 years in, no, sorry, 20 years in, apologies. I forget we're in the 2020s. By 24 years in, they'd won a World Cup and a Euros and won multiple Nations Leagues. So it doesn't take 70 odd years. It can sometimes only take like 20. So that's pretty decent. Okay, let's go find another save to look at. We are back now with probably the save that inspired me to make this video. We're currently in 2078, so not actually as far as the other 2 saves we've looked at, but we've only got Wales open at the moment, so only Wales. And let's go have a look at Bulgaria and how they are doing at the moment. So as you can see, they're first in the world rankings. The world rankings are a little bit. South Africa also, one thing I've also noticed, South Africa and South Korea always tend to do well as well. China too, but I would say definitely look out for South Africa and South Korea in your saves. But they're currently ranked first. And there's a reason for that, and that is because Bulgaria have won the last 3 World Cups in a row, incredibly. They beat Colombia, they beat South Africa, and then they beat South Korea in back-to-back World Cups. So that really does show something. They've also, as you can see, won the Euros in 2072. They have lost it 2 more times, and they've also won 5 Nations Leagues. But it's just those 3 World Cups, which are crazy to me. They've got some incredibly good players. Delian Genchev here, a right-back/right winger playing for Liverpool, only bought for 22.5 million. One of the best players in the world. Bozidar Lanchev playing for Man City, incredible player, bought for 40 million. It's very little money when you actually think about it in the new age of football transfers and whatnot. Kirill Kiriev playing for Chelsea at the moment, bought for 90 million from them. Man City only got him for 20 million. You could find some incredible bargains in this Bulgarian league. Bayern there signed him for 127 million after Liverpool only got him for 45. It is ridiculous how good this Bulgarian sort of save is. I want to sim this save forward a bit more just to see if Bulgaria can do maybe 4 back-to-back things. But that is the gist of it. As you can see, over 3 saves, Bulgaria have won, I think, 4 World Cups, 3 or 4 Euros, at least 15 Nations Leagues. And in all 3 of them, they're ranked in the top 10 nations after a good, like, we're 50 years in most saves, at least at 50 years and then 70 in the other 2. But it kind of shows how well they're doing. There are instances where it doesn't happen. I have a save in, I think it's Canada. They didn't even do anything in there. So it might not be every save. Sometimes it happens. But from what I've seen, Bulgaria is a really good spot to pick up players. So I think in the future, you should definitely, I don't know if this is just a beta thing, but definitely in your saves, check out Bulgaria. Check out, I think it's Ludogorets. Obviously, everyone knows Ludogorets. They have a very good youth players. You got CSKA Sofia, you got Levski, Botev Plovdiv. You've got lots of good clubs here. I think with very good. Can we actually see? Have they added in where you can actually see the like youth facilities of a club or not? Probably not. Slavia Sofia, I saw them. They'd sold a player for good. How good are their facilities? I think Bulgaria, it's good youth facilities, exceptional youth recruitment. I think Bulgaria is a real hotspot for your for regens in Football Manager 22. So go find them. Let me know if you find any. But that's going to be it for today. I'm planning on doing some more future saves. Potentially, I need to look at South Korea and South Africa because I've definitely been noticing a trend with those saves as well. But yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's a bit different. It's sort of just looking through some saves and seeing how well Bulgaria have done. But I'll try and come up with more videos like this. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's been Alex, and I'll see you guys next time.